please, Canada, please be there for me. Like, please cheer for me. You know, you never know. You always have those second guesses. Like, are they going to know who I am? You always have those kind of nerves because you never know what's really going to happen. And it's like walking in the first day of school.
Yeah.
Catering, I'm like, which lunch table do I sit at? I just knew that like my work was going to speak for itself. And when the timing was right, I would get that chance. And that's exactly what happened. So that was our first big break in the world, and some of us in the States.
Oh, baby, so good to have Taya Valkyrie with us in the studio because a lot has changed since the last interview that we did, which you can check out right up there. Congrats to her on signing with AEW. But first, guys, we've been talking about this for a while, and it's finally here. The first ever CVV retro action figure from Rush Collectibles is here. I can't get over how good this looks, and man, that is a very well tailored suit. They nailed that hair too. This is available for pre-order now until June 19th only. That's it. When they're gone, they're gone. If you live in the US or Canada, go to rushfigures.com. If you live in the UK, go to rockandrollcollectibles.com and grab yourself the first ever CVV retro action figure. He can be interviewing all of your retro action figures that you have. It has a removable mic, by the way, too, so let me pop that out. So here you go. Go grab one of those right now, and please enjoy this conversation with Taya Valkyrie.
Awesome. It is so good to see you.
Hi.
So many good things going on in your world, man.
I know, I'm just smiling like a nerd over here.
There's no reason not to smile if you're Taya Valkyrie, right?
Yes. Things have been crazy, but in the best way possible.
That's great. Congratulations on the AEW debut.
Thank you. In Canada?
In Canada, too.
Yeah, it was very special.
And it's funny because you had done an interview like a few weeks before that, and they were like, AEW is going to be in Canada next week, Winnipeg. What are you doing on that day?
Just lying. I was just full of lies.
How cool, though, to be able to debut in front of the Canadian audience.
I mean, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, please, Canada, please be there for me. Like, please cheer for me. You know, you never know. You always have those second guesses. Like, are they going to know who I am? Like, I don't know. And they were there for me. So
Yeah.
I am forever grateful. And Winnipeg, thank you very much.
Was this like, a super huge secret where they were like sneaking you into the arena and sneaking you through the airport?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
flew in and was actually flying on like the same flight as a bunch of people coming from LA, like the Bucks and everybody. And like as soon as we got to the Winnipeg airport to get off the plane, like I had put a hat on, I put a mask on, and like tried to like cover myself up because like as soon as you walked down, I walked off like down the escalator and there were fans everywhere. So
Well, you're pretty recognizable.
Yeah, I don't exactly blend in. So I had to like really cover up, and then they had me staying at a different hotel than all of the other people on the roster.
wow.
So I was at a secret hotel, a secret location, had a secret SUV pick me up and bring me to the secret back door. And that's how it went down.
And then when you walk in and you're amongst friends and colleagues,
Everyone's like, oh my God, what are you doing here? And I was like, surprise.
Oh, that's great.
So, I mean, I had a few friends that knew what was kind of going on, but I think also just like things happen so quickly and sometimes you're just, it's more fun to keep it a secret, right?
Yeah.
I love surprising people, and I will lie on a podcast or two to get the surprise to come and, work out perfectly. So I was so excited that people were excited to see me. The crowd was great. Tony has been fantastic and amazing to me from day one. And I'm just very happy to be there.
You had kind of, had a glimpse of what AEW was like because John was there for a few appearances. Is that what kind of got the wheels moving on this?
I mean, I think that, everything had to take its time properly. Like, I feel like people are like, why didn't you go there sooner? Or like, it's not up to me. Contrary to what people think, you actually have to be offered a job, and like things have to be, at the right place at the right time. And there had been talks over the last year, all of, 2022 about, and speculation and rumors and things like that. But I just knew that like my work was going to speak for itself. And when the timing was right, I would get that chance. And that's exactly what happened. Like, I became undeniable in 2022. I really put myself out there, won awards, biggest comeback of the year by PWI, and multiple, 5 different championships across the world.
Yeah.
I put in the work. And so I knew that would pay off, and it did.
Yeah.
And, when I had a meeting when AEW was in Los Angeles in January was when I was able to speak to Tony face to face, because we had spoken through text and things like that. But, you know, I sat down with him and it just kind of went from there. And I just had to wait for that moment, and it came, and then all of a sudden here we are. So, you know, and even with the conversation, you know, things didn't happen like right away. It's just not how business works. It's not how this works at all. And I was obviously had commitments with multiple companies. I really pride myself on never leaving, you know, never closing a door. And I really wanted to finish those storylines and finish those things properly. You know, Impact has been a huge part of my career and my life. I never ever wanted to leave them high and dry or anything, but I also had to protect myself in the way that I had to pick what was best for my next step.
Yeah.
And also MLW was nothing but fantastic to me. Court Bauer, shout out to you guys. You guys were great. That roster is fantastic. Like, these people really helped me get through a really horrible part of my career, or at least mentally I was not in a good spot last year. And I'm forever grateful for them. And because of them, I was able to take this next step.
I love how intentional you were about your career last year. Like, you basically...
Oh, yeah. No one could tell me shit.
But that's a huge thing, not just in wrestling, but just in life, being intentional and going, this is what I'm setting out to do. Nothing's going to stand in my way.
Yeah. And I mean, I was almost standing in my own way at first, because I was questioning my value and questioning where I belonged in this grand scheme of professional wrestling. Do I belong here? All this, you know, the mental games that we play with ourselves because we care so much. Like, that's what people don't realize. And I'm just happy that I did what I did, and I did do it with intention, and I did do it with, you know, like, reminding myself, like, remember who you are, in the words of like Mufasa. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like I had to kind of do that for myself. And I did it. And I did it over and over again. And, you know, that people say like hard work pays off. Well, it certainly did for me.
Yeah.
So.
And that women's roster is so stacked in AEW. And now we add you, another amazing talent, onto that. The amount of matches you can have there is pretty mind blowing.
I mean, there's so many first-time matchups too, which I don't think people realize. So that's really exciting for me, and I think that was like a main reason why I chose to go to AEW, is because it was somewhere that I hadn't been before, with people I had never wrestled, on a different stage, on a different platform. I've accomplished all these wonderful things, and I just, you know, I'm always up for a challenge.
Well, this match,
I don't like to make things easy on myself. So I was just, you know, very excited to be given this opportunity.
This match with you and Jade at Double or Nothing, it's a really, really interesting match.
Yes, Jade has been fantastic. I mean, I've, you know, wrestled every type of female wrestler, man, everything. You know what I mean? And like, I've seen a lot of people commit to something and then, you know, they don't get to that stage where they want to be in their career, or they give up. And Jade obviously has not been in the business in a really long time, but her passion and determination and her athleticism, and like, you can tell she's an athlete, and she just, like, you can't tell her shit either. Like, she's just like, she really wants to prove herself. And I'm happy to be in a ring with someone like that, and you know, just to see that the business is going in a positive direction. And, you know, I'm excited for Double or Nothing. I'm not going to take it easy on her.
She's not going to take it easy on you. It's going to be so physical.
Of course she won't. And that's fine. I love it. Like, bring on the violence. And I'm just excited to be doing it in Las Vegas.
And it's and it's for a championship, for the TBS Championship on the line. I just love this arc that you've had. It's been such an exciting 2 months of you and AEW. Just 2 months.
How has it been like,
right?
Like
just
8
2
weeks?
months?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like, I mean, you're just getting started here.
I'm cruising along.
There's also, you know, a portion of the audience who's maybe never seen you work before.
Yeah.
And they're all going, oh,
who is this?
Yeah.
That's been interesting to deal with, because there's obviously people have followed me for a long time or seen my work elsewhere. And then there's a bunch of people that are just like, who is this chick and where did she come from and why do I care, kind of thing. So I'm having to prove myself to a lot of people, which is fine. I've done it before and I'll do it again. Is
there an audience that just knows Frankie Monet and doesn't know
I
Taya?
think there is, definitely.
That's wild to me.
Yeah. I mean, who was she?
Yeah, who was she?
Who was that? Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's just like anything. There's people that only watch one show. They're actually, only a WWE fan or only an AEW fan or only an Impact fan, and they don't see everything else beyond that. So it's great to kind of just reopen people's eyes, and I invite them to Google me and look at my matches because there's a lot of them.
I like your stuff in Lucha so much, Lucha
Thank
Underground.
you.
Oh my goodness, so good.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite times in my career, definitely. And it's cool to, for some of us, like, we're all sticking together through all this, like getting to AEW and being with Brian Cage again and seeing Strickland there and Phoenix and Pentagon and me. And, like, it's just the crew.
I was talking about
crew that just cruises through life together.
I was talking about this with Chavo in a recent episode. Like, everybody who was in Lucha Underground went on to do something amazing from there. Like, the talent pool there was second to none.
That was our first little breakout. That was our first big break in the world, and some of us in the States, that was our first time,
Yeah.
So it was a big deal, and obviously they know how to pick them because we've all gone on to do some crazy stuff.
There was I guess a bit of time there last year when a lot of people who did get released from WWE were getting re-signed. Mm-hmm. Were you and John like, maybe that'll be us, or I'm just on to something else right now?
I didn't really think about it too much. Obviously, I have some friends that have gone back, and for example, Chelsea Green is an example, and she's thriving, and she is killing it. I'm so proud of her. But like, I didn't really think about it too much. I just knew that if it was meant to be, it'd be meant to be, and also I was kind of indifferent. I didn't know if I wanted to subject myself to being in a space like that again.
Yeah.
And I mean, it worked out.
We talked about
and
this.
And I could not be happier about it. So, yeah.
And we talked about this last time, the fact that you didn't sell your house here in California.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Like, it's amazing how things work out.
I always, I don't know if people are religious or whatever you believe in, but I definitely believe that the universe has always got a plan. Mm-hmm. And whatever that is, yes, it's going to suck sometimes. You're going to cry. You're going to be upset. You're going to be mad. But also, at the end of the day, there is a plan for you. So
yeah, I think like it always rings in my head, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Like the bad times, this too shall pass. The good times also.
This too shall pass.
Right.
You never know. Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's kind of like a big circle of like.
And you just got to take it a day at a time. And
yes.
oh God, I sound so corny, but it's just true. I don't know. Like, I just have to kind of look back on things, and I can still like have moments when I'm like, oh my God, that was horrible. Or like, you know what I mean? When I think back on it, or you get a Facebook memory that pops up and you go, ugh.
Oh, you're like, I got to delete that.
What is that? What's happening here? And I just remember how happy I was in that moment or how upset I was in that moment. But I feel like those are all the things that shape us and allow us to be human and feel things and grow from things and learn from things. So I take all those bad moments and I put them in a little box and I keep them away from me and I move on.
And look, there's good in every day, and there's good in every moment. It might be difficult to see it sometimes. It may take a week or a month or a year to look back and go, oh yeah, because of that thing, I'm now doing this thing.
Oh yeah, and I'm fully aware that like, because of all the things that happened to me, over the course of the last 3 years, I mean, in the world in general, the pandemic and all the horrible things that have happened, I mean, I'm fully aware that without those horrible things, I don't think I would be where I am now.
Yeah.
So.
I love that.
Bring it on.
So I had John on the show just a few months ago,
Yeah.
and we were talking about his boxing match.
Oh my God.
And now it's happened. You guys look like such rock stars there.
That day was a lot. That weekend was a lot. I was in my boxing wife era, as I like to post about it. But yeah, it was a lot, but it was so fun and just like a weird alternate universe where all of a sudden John's a boxer.
Is that world anything similar to wrestling at all?
I mean, first of all, this was an influencer event. So that was also like, I'm not a gamer. I've never tried to be a gamer. I don't know anything about that universe and Twitch streams and all that stuff. So that was interesting because I felt like we were outsiders within that world, because even though we are influencers by our followings and like what we do and being on television, we aren't that part of that niche. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. Like Mackenzie Mitchell and Vic obviously came and stayed and to watch the fight and everything with us in Tampa. And like Mackenzie and I remember walking into the party the night before, and I was like, we do not belong here. We do not belong. But it was so fun. Like, everyone was so kind. Everyone's energy was great.
John looked good in there too.
I was like, oh God, we just got to get through this. And then once it was over, I was just like, Like, yeah.
He looked good. He looked like for that to be his first match, his first boxing match. He looked good.
Just he's a green boy, He's just getting his first match.
I mean, John ages backwards. It's incredible.
It's very annoying.
I can't get over how good he looks. It's amazing. And then to move the way that he moves at his age, nothing. By no means is he old.
Are you being ageist? No.
There's a lot of people though that would be like, man, he moves like he's 27.
Yeah. And because he trains that way. He trains so hard. I don't think people realize, like, he was training for, 5-6 months with Josh Barnett on a regular basis to get ready for this fight, and also training with all different types of boxers at different boxing gyms and different people, so he could learn to also be fighting a guy who's 6'7".
Yeah.
Or 6'5", or however tall Harley is.
Yeah.
Tall. So, he was training to like punch upwards and do these different techniques to be able to take down Harley, and that he did 3 times.
So when you're sitting there at ringside, are you like, John's got this?
Well, here's a little fun fact. I thought that I was going to do the entrance with him, and then I was going to go sit in the front row with Mackenzie.
Okay.
That did not happen. An hour before the fight, John says, "Oh, Kira, like, you're going to be in my corner with Josh." And I was like, "Pardon me?" I was in 6-inch heels, a sparkly Barbie romper, and not prepared to be a corner man. And I was like, "Pardon me, what do you mean?" And he goes, and Josh's like, "No, you're going to carry the ice bucket. You're going to tell me the times and all this stuff." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Wow.
So I started freaking out. So that is why you see me with no shoes on and black commission gloves, because the commissioner had to sit next to me, and then I was in the middle, and then Josh. And so I had to wear the commissioner gloves. I had to take off my shoes because I couldn't walk up and down the little steps to the ring every round.
Why didn't you get
I had my phone like this going, 1 minute, 30 seconds. And I was just like, yeah. I was like, thank you, John. Thank you.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan could have done this.
John wanted it to be me. So
that's amazing.
I said, next time, please just give me a warning so I can wear some, something a little bit more appropriate to be a corner. And I told Josh, I'm like, next time we're wearing like matching tracksuits. And he was just like, yeah, okay. But it was very fun. And I just didn't realize how like I had to be calm during this time, because Josh is obviously telling John things while he's in the ring. And I was swearing and screaming and trying to jump out of my seat. And Josh had to like literally put his hand on my leg and be like, I need you to shut up. I need you to shut up because John has to be able to hear me. And I was like this, like clenching the seat, and the commissioner's like holding me back basically because I was just swearing and screaming and all this stuff.
Man.
So I had to be like well behaved. Yeah, Josh Barnett got mad at me because I was being too crazy.
Is John a pro boxer now? Or is
he
John still a pro wrestler?
He's all the things.
He really is.
He's a pro. That's it. He worked very hard for that, and you never know if he's going to do another one. We'll see.
He called out KSI, which was brilliant.
He's a wild man, It's wild. So I'm just, going to continue my boxing wife era. And if I have to be a corner man again, I will have a bedazzled black tracksuit.
Look, if he retired today, he'd be 1-0.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
Would you have a boxing match?
Absolutely not.
No?
I got approached by another kind of like influencer fighting league a week after, and I was just like, no.
You thought about it though, didn't you?
No, I'm not into it. No. No, I'm good. I'm good at what I do, and I'm going to continue to do that.
This is the reason that you're in the position that you're in right now.
Exactly. I'm not trying to get punched in the face. For real.
I asked you this question before, and I'm curious, maybe your answer will change now. There may be people who are not familiar with your work before AEW. Mm-hmm. So what match should they go back and watch to see what you're all about?
I mean, anything from Lucha Underground, like you said, I think is great. I feel
so many people slept on Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah, now it's like a cult classic.
Go watch a full episode and go, man.
Yep.
This is so good.
I feel like I had some really great matches versus Jordan Grace when I was at Impact, especially when I was being heel Taya 2019 badass Knockouts champion. And also you can go back and look at things like me versus Ayako Hamada and Tijuana if you want to see that real LOCA bloody guts disaster awesome no DQ match.
Man.
Ta-da!
When you when you look at the roster right now, who you said there's a bunch of matches that would be first-time matches. Who are the ones you're most excited about?
I really want to wrestle Ruby Soho. I really want to wrestle Saraya, Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker. I mean, there's endless possibilities there. And I also just think that I would love to do some mixed tag stuff with, Adam and Britt, me and John, me tagging with the Lucha Brothers. There's a million things that I want to do, and I just can't wait to continue doing them. And that's exactly what we're doing. And that's exactly what Double or Nothing is all about. And you better watch it on pay-per-view.
With the experience that you have, you go into the AEW locker room for the first time in AEW, but you're a veteran. So how were you received in that locker room?
I was welcomed with open arms and was such a good energy. Everyone was just surprised to see me. Also, I think Britt knew. I'm trying to think who else knew, but it was just so positive. And I mean, when you're starting a new job anywhere, it doesn't matter where it is, in a studio like this, or if it's in pro wrestling or in a restaurant, you always have those kind of nerves because you never know what's really going to happen. And it's like walking in the first day of school. Yeah. In catering, I'm like, which lunch table do I sit at? I'm still, trying to figure that out. But honestly, everyone was so welcoming and excited. And it just made me a much more calm person and just felt like I belonged there. So
what is the best item they have in catering, by the way? When I was there was this chocolate cake that was unreal.
Listen, I don't like sweets. I've never been a sweets person, so I don't. But where were we? There was a few weeks ago, and I swear to God, I went into catering for lunch. I came back out. I had to go talk to someone, and all of a sudden there was 4 tables of cake. I was like, where is this cake coming from? So it's they just. I mean, I personally don't eat a lot when I'm at work because I have nerves, and
and you got to go out there in front of the world.
Spandex, and people already criticize the way we look, so I don't want to, add to that. But it's they just have everything you could dream of.
That is so cruel.
Endless amounts of Diet Coke. It's great.
It's so cruel for them to have that kind of food out there, and then you guys to be expected to go out in your spandex an hour or two later.
Yep. But they have tons of super healthy stuff for us to eat too. So. It's good. If you can have the best of both worlds.
Because you're a veteran, are there people going, Taya, could you watch my match and let me know what you think? Or what did you think of this?
I mean, that happens more on the indies.
I bet. What is the biggest piece of advice that you have for somebody that says, can you watch my match?
A lot of the times I say, and I stand by this, is the best experience is just being in front of people. You can train in a school as much as you want, but those little moments in between and taking your time or figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Yeah. You learn those things being in front of people. So I'm always go out there and have as many matches as you can. I don't care if it's in front of 5 people, but you just need that experience because that's also how you become more comfortable in yourself as a performer. What
do you think is the best piece of advice that you were given early on that you now take with you into every match that you have?
I mean, I've been told all sorts of things.
Some good, some bad.
Good, some bad. I mean, it was just, I just think that all my coaches were just you have to work hard, and that's basically what you have to do. You have to work hard. Nobody's handing you anything. That's just life. And as much as you can look back and be well, this person got this opportunity, or this person doesn't deserve it, well, why do you deserve it? I know I deserve this spot because I worked really, 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 really hard, and I have given my life to this, and it is my passion. It's what I do. It's who I am, and I will continue to do that. So I know I earned that spot. So you have to just put in the work, and also it just helps you appreciate your own effort too.
I've heard from so many wrestlers, the advice they've been given is slow down. You think you're going slow, slow it down.
Oh, well, I mean, more. For example, the Rampage episode that just aired.
Yeah.
I felt when I held the belt up that it was so long. And then I watched it back, I'm damn, I should have given it an extra beat. Things like that. I'm still figuring it out. I am not perfect. Do I think that I still make mistakes? Absolutely. But I will continue to grow, and I look at stuff like that. Yeah, the slowing down thing. A lot of people rush everything. And especially when you are in a crowd as big as those Dynamite and Rampage crowds, Raw or SmackDown crowd.
Yep.
When you do something, it takes a second for the people to respond too. It's almost like a wave, and the sound that you hear from them reacting because people you're doing it and then they're seeing it,
Yeah.
And so it's very different that way than an indie show where everything is a lot more intimate, So I still now, telling myself to slow down and hold the championship belt up for one more beat.
It is amazing though that how the cameras can find you.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to play to them, obviously, but it's amazing how good they are at finding you.
And like that's an important thing too with television is knowing where your cameras are and having those talking to the camera guys and having them know, well, this is going to happen here. I really want to be able to look right down the lens at that one moment. So there's just so many moving parts. So
with everything you have going on, what's going on with designing clothes?
Actually, speaking of, I actually just got samples this week.
Wow.
So we are looking at having something released very, very soon. The samples came. I'm very happy with them. The colors are great. And I'm just kind of finalizing the designs and stuff like that for them.
So what are we talking weeks here? Are we talking months?
I want to say like in a month or so.
Okay.
A month and a half. I just, for the summer. It'll be out for the summer.
So with wrestling being the main focus right now and clothing being, the other thing you're doing, do you foresee a time in the future, maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's 10 years, where those flip?
I think no matter what age I am or what I'm doing, I'm always going to be involved in entertainment and creating and the arts. Do I know what that is?
Yeah.
No.
Like you were doing something with RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my God, I love.
We'll get into that in a second.
My other love, RuPaul's Drag Race. But yeah, no, I always just know that I'm going to be creating and doing art or in some capacity, if that's in wrestling or television or fashion, whatever that is. That's just who I am. That's who I've been since I was a little kid.
But
making stuff and making people watch me do stuff and dressing people up and that's just me. So
yeah, just this. Unfortunately, this job can't last forever.
Of course,
you can't take bumps till you're. Well, you could take bumps till you're 80. I don't know.
You never know.
Do you think about what's after that?
I mean, I think we all do.
Yeah.
But I think it's also just important to set yourself up in the best way you can. Like if that's financially, if that's with other projects, if that's in real estate, if that's with starting another job or a side hustle or whatever that is. I always think about that stuff. But I also think that society in general likes to put a cap on women way before they put a cap on men. And that's something that is very annoying. And, there's men on television wrestling in their 50s and no one has a problem with it. But if you're over 35 and you're a woman, oh my God, how dare you?
I had this same
throw
conversation.
Throw her away with the trash.
Yeah, like I had the conversation with Nikki, and she's like, it's so unfair.
It's so unfair. And so I don't know when I feel the best I've ever felt physically right now. I feel like my wrestling is at its best.
Yeah,
I feel
you're crushing
the
it.
most confident and my baddest bitch self that I do right now. Like, you know what? Me at 25 would not be this person because it's taken me this time and it's taken me these years of experience to become the woman I am today. So I don't know how long I'm going to be wrestling for, but I don't want people to assume or say, well, she's a girl, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, because no one has a problem when it's a guy.
It's just a matter of your body's going to give out at some point.
100%,
right?
but that's just like anything.
Yeah.
Just like anything. So I am taking it one day at a time. I'm taking the best care I can of myself, physically, mentally, doing all the things.
I need your skincare routine. It's incredible. Look at this. Wow.
Look at that finish.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a whole other subject. But yeah, like I just have to do what's best for me and like listen to myself and just be ready all the time. Like, I'm really freaking good at my job.
Yes.
And so I'm aware of it. And I have no problem saying it. So I don't want, I'm going to do this until I'm ready to not do it anymore.
Hey, you're one of the very best in the world at what you do. And I love that it's on display every single week for everybody to see.
Unapologetic about it. Because I was apologetic about it for a long time. And people are told like as women or as human beings even, like you shouldn't be overly proud of yourself. Well, I'm damn proud of myself for what I've done and accomplished. So.
I'm probably by the time this episode comes out, I'm going to be a dad, which is crazy.
Which is crazy. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. No, thank you. Do you and John ever think about making beautiful, super athletic children?
We've talked about it. I think that's
They'd be so beautiful.
I know, but that means I have to actually be pregnant.
This is true.
Which is something that honestly, and like some women probably frown upon this, but I just like, I don't know, man.
I can tell you that my wife is not really enjoying being pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like, I don't know. I mean, you never know. You never know.
I think she enjoys the outcome of what this is going to be.
Yes.
But she's not enjoying the day-to-day of
yeah, like I don't know.
I
think I would be a miserable pregnant person.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, our kids would be athletic.
Oh, man. They'd be signing scholarships coming out of the womb.
Yeah, they'd do parkour out.
Seriously.
You know, side flip.
Yeah.
So you never know.
But there's the whole you got to be pregnant thing.
There's the whole you got to be pregnant thing, and there's a whole I am an athletic person as per my job.
Yeah,
could be a
bumps.
problem. Could be a problem.
Yeah.
So, but you never know, and you never say never. And also nowadays, like people are having children later in life, and careers are more important to a lot of women nowadays. And I consider myself one of those people too. So
you're in your prime.
If it comes down to it and it happens, cool. If it doesn't, that's okay too. We always talked about adopting or other alternative ways of being parents if we want to. So I will let the universe figure it out.
For now, you've got two very famous dogs.
I have two very famous dogs. One is very smart. One is very dumb. Yeah, Bowie and Presley. I also want to add a third one, but we don't have time. I know.
How do you have time for two but not three? Come on.
I know. I really want a little girl.
Who looks after the dogs when you guys are on the road?
So they go to this pet hotel here in Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. It's very bougie.
And I love that it's in Hollywood, too.
It's the Hollywood location.
Not in the Valley.
Not in the Valley. No, like I found this, they go to WAG. They go to WAG hotels. Have you heard of them?
No.
They're all over California. You should know about WAG.
We just pass our dog off to the friend.
Yeah, they're so great. They Presley hates it. I can watch them on camera, like playing in the playroom, and Presley's always like in the corner standing there like, where's my mom? Where's my sashimi? I do not want to be here.
Sashimi.
And Bowie is like doing laps and like talking to all the other dogs and like having a gay old time, and then like comes over to like friggin' Presley and just like checks on him and stuff, and then it's sad, but it's great.
So why can't you add another one to the mix?
We'll see.
This could be in the works.
We'll see. The other thing is like when we travel with them, it's hard to travel with three because you can only have one dog per person.
And airlines have made it a lot more difficult to travel the dog.
Yes, and I don't know. Traveling with three seems like it would. What are we supposed to?
Because they need to be in a carrier now,
They have to
right?
be in a carrier. They can't.
Yeah.
Two of them can't fit in one carrier together either.
And
so
they need to be under the
seat. Yeah, you can't take them out.
You've talked me out of it.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe one day I really either want an all-black Pomeranian girl, and I'm gonna name her Cher, or we're gonna have an all-blonde one, and her name is gonna be Baby Gaga. So yeah. We've already picked names.
I feel like this could happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe I'll get both. Maybe I'll have 4 dogs. I'll just be a crazy Pomeranian mom.
What's your, with the amount of travel that you guys do, what's your travel thing, your travel hack? Like everybody has like I'll wear the funny looking pillow around my neck, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. What's yours?
Always get a bottle of water before you get on the flight because,
they never bring it around often enough.
No, and like I don't want a weird little glass of it.
Yeah, I'm like, can I get 3 of those, please?
Yeah, so always get a bottle of water. I always keep snacks in my bag, in my purse too. Like I feel like I have a Mary Poppins bag. Like it's always just full of like endless amounts of things. So have your nuts or your protein bars or whatever it is. I am a window person. I always need to be in the window seat because I fall asleep on planes within seconds. I'm like sometimes before we've even taken off. I'm not sure what that is. I think I'm just always tired.
The window's great, except then you have to ask 2 people to get up if you need to go to the bathroom
before you get on the flight.
Okay.
You have like a little system. When John and I travel together, we always get airport breakfast, which is like a thing that we always were like. We get airport breakfast, so we would go like enough time to get our little breakfast time in at the airport. LAX. Fancy LAX.
LAX is not a fun.
Yeah, we just have like little
at.
like traditional like things like that you do.
LAX is not a fun airport to be at.
No, I am.
How often do you fly out of Burbank? It's so much closer for you.
I'm flying out of Burbank For Vegas actually coming up here because it's
So
so
much
easy.
better.
But 99% of the time I'm out of LAX, which is a nightmare. And that airport has been under construction. I've lived in the States for 7 years. It's still under construction. So I don't know what is going on. The Delta terminal, though, is lovely.
They've redone the Delta terminal. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I fly
very
American
lovely.
Airlines. It's a bit chaotic.
Yeah,
That's,
I
that's
don't.
a nice way to say it.
Like John was telling me how they're supposed to get this done by the time the Olympics happen, and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna happen. They're going pretty slow.
Do you have a favorite John Morrison match?
I mean, I'm gonna go back to like Lucha because I was there. You know, those all night long, 60-minute classic.
Yeah.
You know, John versus I think it was Willie Mack, John versus Ricochet.
Yep.
Some of those are for me like
You mean Prince Puma?
Prince Puma, pardon me. Some of those I think are pretty damn special.
I talked to John about, I mean, it's just magic that he made with Bad Bunny, who is just crushing it now.
Yeah, he's the man. I like Bad Bunny.
He's the man.
Yeah.
It's
His, like, the entrance in Puerto Rico was like, what is happening? And I watched it just on social media because, like, a lot of times that's just how I kind of, like, keep up to date on what's going on. And I was like, that's electric. Like, I felt like if I was there, like, you could feel the air.
Well, it was like a Bad Bunny concert that just happened to have a wrestling match.
Yes.
Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, him and Zelina, their entrances were, like, nuts to me. Like,
Yeah.
I could feel, like, how powerful those moments are.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, Double or Nothing
Double
is this
or nothing,
Sunday.
baby.
That
Yeah.
card is stacked.
Yes.
And I think that you guys have the potential here to steal the show.
I am so looking forward to it. I'm excited to be making my pay-per-view debut with AEW. You know, like this is a big moment for me, and yeah, I'm ready to leave it all out there. And I've got some crazy surprises up my sleeves for everybody.
Can't wait to see
So
this.
yeah, it's gonna be magical. I'm just so thankful for this opportunity, for Tony believing in me and allowing me to run with it and just show the world what I can do. So,
I love it. Congratulations
Thank you.
again. I end every conversation with gratitude.
Yes.
I say out loud 3 things I'm grateful for when I wake up and before I go to bed. And we end every conversation with that. So what are 3 things that you're grateful for right now?
I am grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my family and friends who have loved and supported me through all this crazy shit. And I am just grateful for the universe protecting me and giving me these opportunities and showing me the way.
Love that.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
So good to see you.
Thanks, Chris. Great to see you too. And I can't wait to meet your baby.
Oh, yeah. So sad.
Coming up soon.